Welcome drone video fans, and this is a short video on Stanton Community Park in North Madison, Ohio. Park which is named after J. William Stanton, longtime Lake County resident, born in Painesville, Ohio. He first served as Lake County Commissioner and then as Congressman to the 11th District for 2 decades. And this park was named after him. We're flying over the park here at about 150 feet altitude because I wasn't sure how high these trees are. And as you can see, some of the highlights of the park here. We're passing over one of the many soccer field layouts that they have here at the park. And the building that's coming up on the right hand side, which we'll be seeing more of later, is the old chapel from the CYO Day Camp that used to be here. This used to be property owned by the Diocese of Cleveland for their summer day camp, which was called the CYO camp, and it was sold to the township and turned into community park. Flying over Chapel Road now and coming up on the retreat at Chapel Cove. It's a condominium community which was built on also the CYO property, and on the top right you'll see a lake there. This property used to be all covered with trees and nature trails, and this place where the kids from the camp would cross over the street and enjoy hiking and seeing parts of nature. Now we're taking a northerly run back towards the park. I'm going to be crossing over Chapel Road. You can see the traffic, maintaining our altitude of 150 feet as we cross. See a couple more soccer field layouts, one running east-west right in front of me and one running north-south a little bit on to this other side. And again, we're seeing in front of us the former CYO chapel, which still maintains its status as a chapel. I imagine that as a community park that the chapel could be reserved for weddings, and it's certainly an idyllic setting with the trees around it, and it's a very pleasant area to actually hold a wedding, because right beyond it, as we're flying here, you can see a big parking lot, and just beyond the parking lot a large building. You know, that large building at the top of the picture used to be the CYO Day Camp mess hall. Now it's been converted into a banquet center. So all this parking here is for the banquet center and people who want to hold banquets. And we're looking now at some basketball courts and some service buildings for, you know, the park in general. And we're going to be flying over the some of the other buildings here that are inside the park. You see a pool there over on the left-hand side. It used to be open for community residents. I'm not sure if it's going to be open this year or not, but they charge a minimal fee to use it, and it was a nice feature for the park. And we're continuing to fly here north towards the lake, and we're going to pan down here a little bit, and we're going to come up on a open air pavilion, which I believe was intended to be an area for picnics. And probably served that purpose for quite some time. However, as we get closer to it, and you'll see it there through the trees, it's very precariously located right on the edge of the cliff, which goes down to Lake Erie, and I'm not sure how much longer, due to lake erosion, it's going to be there. As a matter of fact, there are signs posted warning that it's a dangerous area. And you can see, you know, trees in the water there which have fallen over the edge of the cliff. You know, they say that things that are unavoidable are death and taxes, but you can add to that list Lake Erie erosion of property unless proper steps are maintained. Now we're facing back towards the park in the southerly direction, and we're going to drop down to within about 15 feet of the surface of Lake Erie. And as you can see, the cliffs are almost vertical, and they're comprised of various layers of different colors of sand and clay and shale, and just alternating back and forth. And the American cliff swallows find it a very nice place to build their nests. And if you watched my last video on the swallows, you'll see them darting back and forth in front of us, and we're coming up again on their area where they have built literally hundreds of nests. You'll probably see them darting back and forth through the picture. I don't know if we're going to get close enough for you to see many of the nests and the activities that are going on, but you can certainly see some of the trees there which have fallen over the edge of the cliff in the years that have gone by, where erosion continues. But it doesn't seem to bother the swallows. They just keep on building new homes and continue to use those cliffs as their site to raise their young. And I've noted that for many decades that I've lived out here. There's me standing out in a field, and we're approaching the field area where there are some benches. These benches, as you'll see, are facing the lake, and a lot of people come down here mornings, afternoons, evenings, and sit on these benches and spend some time just looking at the lake, watching the lake, place to read books, or just come down here and enjoy the peaceful beauty of the lake and the surroundings. And it's the area. The grass is usually kept mowed very nice, for you could throw down a blanket and have a little blanket lunch. We're flying here up to another area where there's another set of benches, and this set of benches is sort of surrounded by some shrubs and bushes, but it still has a very nice view of the lake, as you can see. So there's my landing pad there, and hope you enjoyed this little visit to Stanton Community Park. We do shoots like this and try to put one up once a week. If you like this sort of thing, look through my video list. I'm sure you'll find something else there that you'll appreciate. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. Thanks for watching.